Turning now to your mental health, we all know here in the Northwest, the gloomy weather that we see in the PNW can have a pretty big impact on our mood.
Snowbirds are a thing for a reason. Data from the U.S. Census Bureau says the saddest major city in America is not too far from here. That would actually be Seattle, just a little up north. Joining us live with some tips to overcome depression and to help us brighten things up here is Jesse Bradley, pastor, speaker, and former professional soccer player. Good morning.
Good morning, Emily and Travis. You keep this show fun. You do a great job of leading, and it's always good to strengthen the bond between Portland and Seattle.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree. Even though the Sounders and Timbers fans, those fan bases may disagree, but otherwise, totally in lockstep. With that said, you're based out of Seattle, and you do a lot of work with them, and you know, of course, with a strong focus on the mental health side. You've taken a pretty interesting approach to finding some of life's purpose off the field and ways to kind of stay happy amid the winter months here in the Northwest. What's your take?
You know, you bring up Portland and Seattle and that rivalry, and I do serve with Faith and Family Seattle Sounders, but we won't go there. I don't want to stir up, any division. I played professional soccer, and that was my dream since I was a young kid. Played overseas after graduating from Dartmouth. I was in Zimbabwe, and I took a medication to prevent malaria. It built up toxic levels in my system, and I was fighting for my life for 1 year. It took 10 years to fully recover. And I say that because life's going one way sometimes, and it isn't going that way anymore. You can't control it. And I didn't find hope until I lost it. It was at the lowest point in my life that I discovered a hope that's greater than our challenges. And so I believe hope's available to everyone. And some of the pain that I went through and the battle with mental health as well, that fuels me with a purpose and a passion to bring hope to people around the world.
Yeah, well, it's so interesting, Jesse. I mean, when you look at like what you went through and what a lot of people struggle with, a lot of those external factors can be what really can make it hard to really kind of feel down in the dumps. But then internally is where we kind of have to be able to bounce back. So what are some hope building habits? Things people can bring into their daily lives?
Yes, we can cultivate hope. And like you said, these are challenging times. The American Psychological Association said that we've never been more stressed than we are right now. And I think people feel that. They feel weary. Over half America said they feel hopeless. The numbers and the statistics get our attention. Those are the stories that are there. But there's a different narrative. And I don't subscribe to a narrative of hopelessness. What are some hope habits that we can cultivate? Well, here's a couple practical things. First, you can make a celebration list, and that's to either write down or say 10 things you're thankful for. And as you do that, it's really a gritty gratitude, because sometimes we don't feel grateful, but when we say it, when we write it down, now it starts to change our perspective, our attitude. And also another thing we can do is a resentment check. Before you go to bed at night, when you wake up in the morning, a quick resentment check. Get rid of all bitterness and resentment, because it's like a poison. And when you let it go, you get rid of it, you're set free. So enter the day not with a grudge, but instead you're ready to love people, bless people, serve people. And one other hope habit that really helped me, because psychologists say we have in between 6,000 and 60,000 thoughts every day. The National Science Foundation says that up to 80% are negative. So those are hope thieves. And don't let those in your house. Don't let those linger in your mind. When you have a first thought, you don't have to believe, harbor, entertain it. You can replace it with a second thought. And I didn't grow up with faith, but for me, one of the things I did was just take a truth out of the Bible, which is nothing can separate me from the love of Jesus. And I would say that when I felt discouraged, there's no hope. And you can pick your favorite quote, a poem, a song lyric, but replace it with an intentional second thought. And when your mind is renewed, it's going to lead to different relationships. You're going to change the culture, because hope starts really on the inside, and you can cultivate with practical habits a hope that's indestructible.
Gratitude journals, that's no joke. I started trying to do that every morning. Three things to be grateful for. And even if you wake up in a bad mood, it's a good reminder. You got a lot in your life that is going well.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, that's great stuff. Great advice. Pastor and speaker Jesse Bradley, thanks for taking the time to join us down in Portland. We'll try to bridge the divide between us and Seattle.
Absolutely. We're all made to receive and give hope. We're running for clean water for kids in Africa now. Just take the next step locally and globally. And as you serve other people, you're going to see hope increase around the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Jesse, thanks so much. And if you are looking for a little extra inspiration to help you overcome the gloom, you can also check out Jesse's website. He's got a lot more at revivinghope.com.
All right.